the chess world championship tie stuff is also very silly. That's another very silly thing. Like Magnus sucks. It's interesting with Hans. Um, Magnus is lucky that Hans is insane and that trying to ruin his life made him even more insane. Because if Hans came out of the cheating stuff, being like very like hey, I made some mistakes in the past, but I don't think these accusations are serious, and was like normal, he could have produced something that made Magnus hopefully look really bad. Um, and Magnus and Chess.com, who teamed up against like a 19-year-old, like a single 19-year-old who had like no real support group, um, off of these like really strange, in the grand scheme of things, in terms of like professionalism allegations, that clearly have been demonstrably proven to be false. Not demonstrably, but in the sense that like Hans is clearly at the level when he beat Magnus in that individual thing that started it. He's clearly playing at that level without cheating. Like we know that. I had people when this was happening. I had people in my chat being like, you know, he's like a 2600 max. He's cheating. It's clearly not true. He's like a super jam. Um, so Magnus continues to do stuff that is like very odd. Like the essentially openly match fixing with Jan to be like, we're not going to play a real game. Like that should be punished by FIDE. It's really weird. A lot of other sports, it's slightly different in chess, but like there's a reason why in other sports like people would freak out about this, and it's because one of the reasons is because the administrative body is like more in control of shit. I don't know, for lack of a better term. Um, Soggy Bottom Boys, thank you. For those who don't know, there was the Blitz and Rapid World Chess Championship, and people know who Magnus Carlsen is, right? Um, Magnus, the championship game was between Jan and Magnus, was it not? And they played 4 real games where Magnus won 2 and Jan won 2, and then they just drew 4 more games. And they were basically like, we're going to keep drawing unless you give us a co-victory thing. Which is wasn't it partially like a response to not liking the FIDE rules for how to decide the championship? Like, that's clearly something that's really bad. And Magnus has valid criticisms of FIDE. You know, the whole scandal with the pants. Um, you know, he was kicked out of FIDE. He was kicked out of the tournament initially for wearing jeans 2 days in a row, which is like ridiculous. But then he is also just like a little tyrant who wants to consolidate power. Um, Around himself. Like, there's a reason why. You know, yeah, but it seems like I don't like the solution of like let's consolidate a political org around Magnus to do chess is also like terrifying. Like it's clearly not a solution. Like yeah, like Magnus wasn't doing well during the FIDE thing when he did this like grandiose resignation of like, oh, I'm gonna wear jeans and you're gonna have to kick me out. It's always when you're doing poorly in a tournament. It's the same with the Hans Magnus game initially when he accused him of cheating. Like, of course it's when you lose, and it's like he made a mistake, right? Like he screwed up, and that's why he lost. Um, I don't know. It's kind of silly. None of it's the future of chess isn't good. I don't think. I think there's no clear like development where I don't trust it. FIDE sucks, and then the people who are opposing FIDE also suck, and are also like clearly not being impartial. We need to get Magnus on to Fortnite Friday. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think it's bad. It's no good. But Magnus doesn't. He's getting some sort of criticism, but probably not enough because he's like the guy. Like the people who like Elon Musk and are like chess is a lot like Elden Ring and it's cool and I like it. Are like they know Magnus Carlsen. Is Gadmutter a right winger? I guess he's Croatian. FIDE should just let Magnus announce who's world champion, and they can save a lot of money by not hosting the tournaments. Yeah, it sucks that Magnus can't be a good role model. I mean, Jan admitted to cheating, to using stockfish against Hans in an online game. Like he said that, and then no one cares. The the way that they're dealing with cheating and the way that Magnus has chose to deal with cheating, which is just to increase baseless accusations, is like such a terrible precedent for him to use his like political capital in this kind of scene to set. Just for nerds anyway, exactly. We're done with it. It's over. Next. Next.